We're live.
Hey up. How are we doing?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm excited. I think I'm allowed to be excited today. Last night, not so much. Had to go through a bit of a war zone before we could smile.
I was fine last night, to be fair.
You were.
It was enjoyable winding you up on watch along on the fan cams, pretending to be angry. That was good fun.
No, because I thought I had a read on who. I know you well. I thought I had a read.
I said to Zoe after the 7th win, next time we lose, I'm going to open up fan cams, just vintage ballistic pom. And it worked absolutely brilliantly.
Oh man, no, you. I've learned with the fan cams, you just have to be ready for anything. So, I don't know. It's tough. I did not do a fan cams compilation for this week because I just know we're going to forget about that game so quickly and not know a thing that happened in the game. Like what was something that happened in that game that you think you'll never forget? Maybe Charlie kicking the goal to win his second Coleman medal. But apart from that,
I can't remember the name of the person, but someone in the watch along tipped me over the edge when he said Charlie's overrated and he was a Cowan fan. Absolutely fucking ruined me, I'm going to be honest. It'll stick with me. I believe my exact words of the watch along were, I can't believe I've done this long enough to hear one of my own fans tell me Charlie's shit.
mm-hmm.
It was like it actually did me. I'll be honest with you, it did me.
Yeah. I think George Hewitt's left-footed goal. That one got me going. I might remember that one for a while. We'll see. But anyway,
the eye gouge was probably my favourite bit.
Yes, we will touch on that. So it's Monday, the 28th of August, 2023. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the Blue Abroad Show. And what a pleasure and what a privilege it is to be co-hosting this show after the final game of the season, with the season not actually being dead for the Carlton Football Club. This is the first. This is the first of its kind. I know. This is the first BA show of its kind to end a season.
This is the first Monday we've ever done together, Terry. All right. That I haven't prepared a graphic of who we can use on our first pick. That's a true story, that. The graphics are made. They're just not released yet.
Yeah. So I think we'll spend tonight talking very minimally about the game, a bit more high level around what's to come, because that's really the most important thing right now. It is what's to come. So there's a few issues and injury updates and MRO updates and things of that nature to get through. But otherwise, I think we can just plow through this. So, Pom, what did you learn? And chat, what did you learn from round 24?
The banter thing I've learned, I'll start with the banter one, is Paolo rustling feathers from people leaving early. And right now, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm a parent, so I'm more than qualified to talk about this. I've got 2 of them. But I don't understand anyone saying it was 6 o'clock at night, my kids were tired. Why take them? Like I do. I don't take my kids anywhere if I'm worried about them sleeping late. So I didn't understand that, but that was a banter thing Pom learned. I didn't understand why you'd take your kids wanting to leave early in case you lost. That makes no sense to me, but that's for another day. What I learned, our fans are absolutely fucking mental. Charlie Curnow kicking goals. I have it on 1 volume. The roar when he kicked his second was insane. It was good to see the boys learn as well a little bit of intelligence. How good was it in the final game of the season to be in a position where you didn't have to go full ball? You didn't have to play Cripps half dead. You didn't have to play Doc hurt. You could rotate and you could walk out of that game. walk out of that game, just walk it out, knowing that you're fifth if you win, fifth if you lose, and now get to do what we've dreamt about, Terry, don't we? Since the start of the show. Talk about a final.
It's weird. It's weird. We've yearned for a day like today. I think that's where I got a bit confused from the reaction after the game. And maybe a loss doesn't discriminate. It doesn't matter if you're coming off one loss in a row or if you're coming off 9 wins in a row. We feel the way we feel. People feel the way they feel. They express the way they express. But I think for me, to get to a game at the final game of the season and to be managing your best team because you know you've already done it, what I learned was that I feel like I learned even more about how unpredictable this game is, this sport is, the whole lot. Like just when you think you may have a grip on how things may turn out and it all looks practical and it looks like it makes sense as to what is happening, anything's around the corner. And that's everything though. But for relating to Carlton, that's what I've learned.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And check Stevie S.
Oh wow. Steven Spiteri with 160 says minor premiers for the best sporting podcast. Well done, gents, on a great year of content. Loved every minute of it. Onwards to finals glory. Wow. I also learned that our fan base and this community, I said this last week, some of the most generous people I've ever met. Thank you very much, Stephen. That's incredible.
What a legend, Steve. Now, spot on. The community is mental. Like, even though the chat wound me up last night, I did say to them, I love them all the same. But yeah great fan base. And it was nice to return to old Carlton as well, you know, going on Twitter at the end of the game and Carlton fans hating each other. There was a few pot shots. Like, Jesus Christ, people. Come on. Like, honestly, it's the first time I think we can talk about Blue Broad history that Pom took a loss probably better than anyone else in the Carlton community. Like, that has never been said since the formation of the show.
I don't want to jinx it, but have you and I ever taken pot shots at each other?
I don't think so. I don't think we ever have. I can't. I can't think of it ever happening.
I think overall, it's just people just express, you know, like when we lose, it's almost like there's this built up frustration. We have the mechanism of the fan cams to kind of input that frustration and come out a little bit more calm. But love it or hate it, this is the family, mate. And we're all made up of just such different personalities, you know, and you can't, it's very hard to just tell people, don't do this, don't do that, don't say this, don't do that, don't say that. You can't do that and expect it to be effective. It's more about, I think it's about creating an environment which gets people to figure it out for themselves. That's what I've learned.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've always been strict on this. Support the club how you want. We've covered some controversial things on here. We've covered people spitting at players, throwing flags, all sorts. I mean, everything makes it this club. I mean, at the end of the day, like as long as no one goes to the game next week and goes, oh, I might have to leave early because my kid might not see it through. Maybe just stay at home if that's the case. That's Uncle Pom's advice. But like at the end of the day, we're in finals now. And you know what? The boys need us. The boys need us and they need us to cheer hard and firm believer in these energies, whether you're at home or away. I mean, we lost this week because Gav wasn't in the watch along. It was Gav and that West Ham fan who sat in the Carlton cheer squad at the front. Them two solely get the blame for this GWS loss, just so everyone knows. 100%.
Yeah.
All to blame.
Yeah. And we haven't lost in 3 months. It was 11 weeks, including the bye. And we're going to see in 2 weeks' time or 3 weeks, however long until the season actually ends for us. We're going to see what it all actually means. But I did have this feeling that it wouldn't have been the worst thing. And maybe that's because we've lost the game and I'm just talking about it retrospectively now. But I don't feel it's the worst thing to have a loss, end the season 4-1 or 9-1. Just to remind and reinforce what we don't want to be feeling, and really what happens when you are 10% off, 15% off, whatever the case may be, and what happens when we don't bring that 4-quarter intensity, that consistent application across the ground defensively. I don't think that's a bad thing for this group, just to get another layer of reinforcement.
When your destiny is bound by numerous factors, I always think it's good that you've got to have a good appreciation of the we and I. In the terms of these players, for a lot of their careers, have focused on the I. What can I do? How can I impact? And the big turning point was, round 11. They went to Curnow Farm. They lost the week after to Essendon. It kind of reinforced probably whatever they talked about the we at the Curnow Farm. And then round 13 happened and they decimated Gold Coast, never looked back. I think this is a good little reset. I wouldn't even call it a reset. It was a loss that I am 100% sure. But if you're a gambling person, there's certain key KPIs that you can look at. And since 2019, if you actually follow the KPIs, in the majority, you would have won 87.2% of all games if you bet at halftime on them odds. Carlton were actually leading them odds at halftime, which suggests to me if Carlton went full bore, they would have probably snuck that game. But obviously they didn't, because this last half and a quarter pressure acts, I've never seen them that low. It was almost like a pre-season game. But I think it's a good readjustment for us to understand our place here, because not picking on the fans, like get upset if you lose. Fuck, I'm the world's worst when we lose, to be honest. I've said some cracking things on this show when we've lost. But I do think like they're entitled to one loss. Do you know what I mean? And usually there's always a little bit of disappointment before you succeed. If you've ever succeeded in life, genuinely there's that obstacle just before you make it. Just before you make it, there's one final obstacle when a lot of us never see success because that obstacle says to us, oh, fuck, I'll give up. It's a bit too tough. It's those that say, okay, one more obstacle, let's jump it. And I think this really does tell us that we need to get behind them raw, cheer them hard, because 10 days' time, this is the game, isn't it? This is the game that their careers have been building up to. And I expect, whether you're on the watch along, whether you're with your dad, your mum, your best mate at the ground, you're going to make a complete tit of yourself. And remember Uncle Pom's mantra, if it's tough, make more noise. That's how you get through it. If you're scared, make more noise.
I had a chat with my sister late last week. We brought this up. When I get nervous and butterflies, I get paralyzed. Like I kind of curl into, like my shoulders curl over. But nah, just the thought, because I mean, I've been to two finals, 2013, 2011. I remember the energy on both of those days, particularly 2013 when we came out victorious. And oh man, just to have, the kids of this generation who have, whether they're early teenagers or late teenagers or early 20s, like for them to go to their first final, it's the most exciting time in this generation.
Well, I mean, anyone who's born a year today, really, now everyone's reset. We're all equal. We're all going to remember the last final together. So what's that? 120 plus thousand people worldwide are on the same page. Finally, we have no one saying, oh, last time we played finals. Now everyone remembers last time. So that only unites us further. But I mean, this is it, Terry, isn't it? I mean, Jesus Christ, 10 weeks ago, someone sent me some of the articles from the Herald Sun. There was Kane saying Cripps has made a mistake. He may never play finals. There was the talk that TDK is going to have to leave to go to Geelong because they look best placed to launch the dynasty. There was Harry Mackay talk. Do you know what I mean? Is he now signed up to 10 years of mediocrity and being overpaid. All of these players now have gone full circle. And this is literally, we are in the same path, walking the same path together. We've all wanted to play finals. 10 days' time, MCG, Carlton Blues return to the finals with a job to do against last year's failures in the final. The second best side historically in this last 12-month period. We get a chance to knock them out. Knock them out. And you know what? People talk about Carlton. How will they react? They haven't played there. Last time Sydney played in the final, it was embarrassing. So we have got the little mental demons to play on their little minds. Make it embarrassing again. Get 40 up. And then Tom Papley will be looking at his mates going, fuck, it's happening again. What is it in this ground of the final? Blues. Come on, let's do it. 17, 4 away. We've won 4 in a row before.
True. It's a good point. All right. So from the game, what did we come out with from this game? Well, we came out with a two-time, back-to-back Coleman medalist. First Carlton player in the history of the game to win back-to-back Coleman medals, Charlie Curnow. It recaps 2.5 seasons or whatever it was of a time when we, as fans, almost banned each other from talking about him because it was just too sore of a topic to talk about Charlie Curnow returning. And yeah, I think obviously got to acknowledge what he's done in the last 2 seasons and to back it up, especially because you can have a good season, you can get up and about for a season and prove it to yourself, and then you can. I mean, not that you would blame him, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a bit of a letdown or a bit of a drop off because like motivation levels. But for him to back it up and get better again is remarkable, and it's just so good for us all.
I've never doubted it, to be honest. I'm just glad to be seeing it. I always knew it was going to happen. The kid's built different, and I mean, to think how old he is. He's only a baby, isn't he? Still, there's still a lot of years of this and a lot of opportunity for the guy to get dramatically better. So I expect Charlie to win 2, 3, 4, 5 of these by the time he's done.
Just a reminder, he's 26. He turns 27 in February. He's 26 years old. He is... I remember you said this to me a few years ago. You said, like, he's our version of Dusty. You know, that dynamic player, match-winning type player. I thought he was a bit too big to be a Dusty type. But nah, he's a special talent. And he's maturing quickly and rapidly. He's maturing.
This year, I mean, the big difference between him and Harry is this year he's added so many facets to his game as well.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? He's now bringing it in, bringing players around him. Like, that kind of work ethic, this guy is going to be scary good. Like, I don't even think you've seen 50% of what Charlie is. I think there is another level. There's probably about 3 more levels of Charlie to go before his time is done. And I think it's going to be scary. It's going to be scary. Just wait and see. Stick by him. And you wait to see the heights he hits. But said it a couple of weeks ago to Terry on this show. Next year he hits 100. Next year he hits 100 in a season.
Wow. Another milestone for Rowan Vertigan, who has been a paid member of this channel for 3 years. Every month on the month for 36 months. Feels like we've all been on this rebuild journey together. For me, at least, that's because Tez and Pom have been there keeping us together. Thank you, mate. Thank you. Thanks for being here when we were doing this on shitty cameras and like faded faces and yeah.
Oh, the good old days, Terry. Hey, the good old days.
The good old days. Okay, so that's Charlie. Tell you what else came out of this game. Jacob Weitering was cited by the MRO. So there was a bit of a scare sent into the fan base last night after the game because he obviously had made contact with Toby Green's face when he was trying to get him off Mitch McGovern. And, you know what the media are like, and you know what the mainstream are like, and opposition supporters will dig into it because they know they'll get a reaction out of us and probably play on our fear strings, but pleased to announce that Weitering has been fined only. So he was cited for unreasonable or unnecessary contact to the eye region of Toby Green. The incident was graded as careless, low impact, and high contact, receiving a sanction of $3,000 down to $2,000 with an early plea, and he will be eligible. Jacob Weitering will play in his first final. Pom, what was your reaction, and what do you think of the actual result?
I've said it on the watch along. I wasn't worried about it, to be honest. I mean, the media control a lot of narratives, and I knew it was going to be a big thing. And as soon as the journalists were so lazy to say he cut his eye because of that, and in real time, I had no replay. I just saw it. I was like, his left eye was touched. Why is his right eye bleeding? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've been punched a few times, believe it or not. It might come as a surprise, but I've never had blood the opposite place that I've been punched. Interesting. It was careless. It was stupid. You could see what he was trying to do there. I mean, it was quite obvious from the actions of Weitering. He was trying to get him off, and his hands slipped and gone there. And if you're ever in that situation, you're trying to pull someone off your mate, you're not thinking about doing it in a safe manner. You're just trying to get the guy off. So it'll be, the media have failed on this one. And hopefully they fail when they start writing their narratives come tomorrow. There'll be some lazy journalism. Do you know what I mean? There'll be some lazy journalism that Carlton lost to the side that's the number one turnover side in the comp. They won't tell you that Carlton generated more turnover opportunities this week than they have done the last 6 weeks. Actually, more than GWS. Their conversion was poor. They won't tell you that Carlton are the number one stoppage and clearance side, which all of the flag winners have been top 5 in that stat. And they won't say that Carlton have the best rebound 50 rate of any team in the last 10 years, who all had high numbers, which means all the tools for a turnover game already exist. It means it needs to click. They won't. They will tell you that the GWS game is the game that says that Carlton can't win it. And that's beautiful. That's beautiful. But don't buy into the narrative. You've got to counter project that, because you'll get Damien Barrett, who looks like he's a character out of Wuthering Heights or something, talking shite. You've got to back these boys in. The boys are good. You've got Mohammed in here. Like, he's got lost. He's a Collingwood fan. And he's going to go with the same thing. Do you know what I mean? Paul Cameras beat Melbourne. What's his excuse for getting battered 3 weeks ago at Collingwood? This is the world we live in, right? Do you know what I mean? They've got a really average content producer in Swoop Luke. They've got to come and see us. Do you know what I mean? Because we're good and actually know football. So that's what you've got to do. You've got to push these boys up to new heights, because for the next 10 days, the media is going to drive a narrative that Carlton aren't good enough. And you know what? Your job, and you've only got one job, right? I want to see none of your fucking takes on football, none of your takes on the 90s. I don't want to hear Cooter, Fev, fucking Sticks. Fuck them. I want to hear about these 23 boys that go out to battle for us. Friday night, Sydney, MCG, nighttime game. That's all I want to hear about. Them 23 names. And you're going to make them feel like kings, because they'll go out and they will deliver you a fucking prize you've all been waiting for. And that's 17. The 17th flag.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is stage 1 of finals Pom.
I'm ready for
drive-bys everywhere. It's just
hey, I go to war with these fuckers, right? This is war now. This is actual war. This is it. We've had D-Day. We've regrouped. We've brought our American friends in. The Aussies have arrived. We've got the Maori troops here, and we're about to go to fucking Berlin. I'm ready.
True.
Get me on the fucking shuttle, baby. I'm ready.
Okay. Well, that was great. That got me going. Let me give an update on some injury news. Okay. Some injury news. Now, Akers was the big one. Said collarbone. There was a mention of a shoulder in there. The club have released an update about an hour ago. And Akers has been cleared of a fracture to his collarbone. He will be managed this week, and he will need to undergo a fitness test next week to assess his availability to play. So that's best case scenario, really, honestly, for him. Doherty says here, available for week 1 of finals, and Patrick Cripps available for week 1 of finals. Now, Pitto's the other one. There's no update on Pitto, and he's actually not on the injury list. So that's fine. That's probably because he was just managed last week. But
He was dropped, wasn't he? Carlton made a statement. They used omitted, which
okay.
which means you're not good enough. So unfortunately, which is good. There's another positive. We're not making shit up. We're just actually saying he was pants the last 2 weeks. So he's out because he's pants. Motlop, was he on the list? Because he pulled his hammy in the game, didn't he? He had, what was it? Aggravation, they called it.
Hang on. Didn't have him
what the
here.
Fuck is, can someone in chat tell me what awareness and aggravation is as well? They're not real things.
I don't see Motlop on the injury list. Motlop was out with illness.
That was it.
It was
Thanks,
illness.
Jay.
Yeah, Motlop was illness. The only ones on the injury
Sam
list.
Sam Taylor, who was hamstring, which is code for shitting himself to play Charlie.
That's right. So Kennedy, the last update was last week, the one that we gave, aiming to be available for selection against the Giants. Will need to complete full training later in the week to be available. That was last week, so nothing new there. Murkov, we already know that. Jack Silvani, the update was a few days ago. So cleared of any significant damage to his knee. A knee sprain will rule him out of at least week 1 of the finals. He's not suffered any further injury, so he's not going to play next week. And that's fine. And Zach Williams. So
is Jesus on there? Well, he's fit, isn't he?
No, I just read him out. Jack Silvani. He's out for week 1.
Sorry, I thought that was the extension of Kennedy.
No, sorry. Kennedy, from what I read there, it would seem like he's available for selection. He may just be, I don't know. I'm not sure what the situation really is. Is he fit and ready and just not there to be selected? It would kind of help to have the VFL not have lost by over 100. Hey,
I mean, you know,
they royally fucked it up.
That was banter, to be fair. Like, the unlikeliest result you'll ever see happened. I mean, to be honest, they're just names on paper to me.
Yeah.
They only become real when that hooter goes. That's when they're real.
Yeah.
How good was the? Oh.
Well, let's touch on it. What did we think, chat? What did you think of the pre-game? What do we call it? Cheer thing? The pre-game Seven Nation Army, Freddie Mercury to start into Seven Nation Army. I loved it, personally. I think if we get around it, like as a collective, I think there are a lot of people that probably heard it for the first time or maybe aren't on social media as much to see it. But I feel like if it gets going and if we the fans get it going and it gets legs by more wins come prelim night, grand final day, potentially, if we get there, it's wild. And Josh, you're right. Imagine 90,000 people doing it next week or 2 weeks.
We did it on the watch along. We added a pre-game. We added the team sheet where we gave them all cheers, and then we did the chant. So we enjoyed it. We had fun. I've got a bone to pick with it though, right? The media and a few fans I've seen saying it's American thing. Now, I'll draw the line at Australian England banner, right? I'll accept it. But don't you fucking dare say Freddie Mercury, the great man himself, God rest him, is fucking American. If I ever see anyone allude to Queen is fucking American, I will flip. He is English. We love him. He's ours. He's an icon. It's an English thing. And we are honoring it. Fucking Americans. I actually felt sick when I heard BT say, "Oh, I think the song comes from America." And I'm like, what? Let me at him.
Get here.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. No, I thought it was good.
American.
I thought it was good, and with more buy-in and more specifically with the final, it got the first bounce to a point with when it came to the feel of the place to a level I haven't felt this year. Because like the big games we've played, Collingwood, Melbourne, there's angst. Whereas by doing this, you create energy and it starts the game hot. So if we can do that, then the boys start tackling with force against the Swans. that'll just amplify. And we all know what happens when they start bringing defensive pressure from the outset. Crowd into the game instantly. The Swans will obviously try and stifle that and not let us get off to a good start. But if we start hot, they bring the defensive heat, we continue, mate. Oh, crazy.
Right. There was a famous thing, right? Just to tell you how important, right, you are to the fans. There was an article written during COVID, right? And it was Roy Keane who came out, and Man City scored a goal and they went mental. Like, it was a routine goal. And Roy Keane criticised them, saying, absolutely pathetic. You're playing bottom of the league side. You're 4-0 up. Absolute waste of time, right? And Pep Guardiola fired back and he said this: to understand how to get greatness is to harness the power of your squad. When this is exposed, when the vital contribution of crowd noise evaporates. So I have encouraged my players to create that noise. It is an impossible job. These are human beings and they are not machines. Nothing played over the tannoy can help. No words can help. It's the raw emotion of living in the moment that makes the unsustainable become the sustainable, belief become reality. So I will encourage my team over the next 6 weeks to celebrate every goal as if it's their last and create the noise required, right? Terry's spot on about energies, and I saw Rowan talk saying he felt self-conscious to do it on his own because the crowd weren't doing it. Fuck that, mate, right? Look at it this way. You're in a room full of old ladies who have been here for 70 years. You've got mums and dads with their kids who don't like swearing. Why take them to a football game, for fuck's sake? You know what I mean? You've got some miserable twat next to you, right? You know what, right? Tell them this. Uncle Pom tells you this. Your fucking job is to make some noise. You're the 19th man. Fuck this 24th man nonsense. They're bench players. You're more important than a bench player. Your job, you're part of the team. Like Dow's is to win a ground ball. Like Crippers to get the contested ball. Charlie to kick a goal. Your job is to create that energy. So when Dow does make a mistake, he hears the noise and he knows that he can do it. When Curnow hits a behind, he knows he gets the next goal because the fans believe in him. That is your fucking job. And you know what? If any dickhead goes, oh, my kids here, please stop swearing, tell her to fuck off. Tell him to fuck off, right? It's a swear word, right? Football. This is war. Do you know what I mean? Some people don't like get shot at, but that's what someone's got to do it to keep us safe. So fucking hell, that is an important part of it. So never feel embarrassed, mate, about celebrating your team. It's your fucking job, right? It's your job. You should never be ashamed of who you are. So if anyone looks at you funny, tell them to fuck off, right? And if security kicks you out, I'll kick them out. Fuck security. Fuck them. I want flares. I want the full shebang. They can't kick 80,000 of you out.
No, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it. It was nice.
I loved it. How good was it?
Yeah. Well, it's anything that encourages unity of voice and unity of each other is important. Most
Terry,
important.
You'll know what country's surnames can't I say?
Is in Greeks.
Which country? Yeah, Greeks,
Turks.
right? Right. That
Turks.
Seven Nation Army got me to be able to say Ange Postecoglou, right? Because of the song. I couldn't say it, but Celtic and now Tottenham sing that Ange Postecoglou. That is how I can speak now. Like, I can actually say your name if you give me a chant. How fucked is my brain? I couldn't say Postecoglou for weeks, and then that song came out, and I was fluent in Greek.
I'll tell you, one of the funniest moments of the last week was the team show on Friday and Lekdog doing the Chewbacca sound when Ur donated.
Fucking threw me. What a dickhead.
It's too good. It's too good. So, yes. Now, a few more bits of information here. We have 3 players who have been nominated and added to the All-Australian squad. So, Charlie Curnow, clearly. Jacob Weitering and Patrick Cripps, the three of them are in the All-Australian squad. The final team is going to be announced, I think it's on Wednesday. What was your reaction to that? AKA, did you think of Nick Newman? I felt like Nick Newman should have at least been in the squad. I can understand, even though I disagree with him being in the team, but in the squad, I thought that was deserved.
Yeah, when I saw the squad, I'm going to be totally honest. I had to go and check the bio of my channel just to make sure that I'm an AFL channel, not a fucking tennis channel. Because I've been talking about Nick Newman a lot on my channel, so I was very worried that maybe I've been talking about the tennis player. How is Nick Newman? Like, in my opinion, unbiased, Nick Newman is in the 23 of the All-Australian.
Yeah.
There is no halfback you can name on that sheet that's better than Nick Newman. Like, Jack Sinclair, one way. He's a lock. He's a walk-up halfback in that team.
If Jack Sinclair makes the team and Newman doesn't make the squad, we will riot. We will riot.
The halfbacks are end conversation. Nick Dacos, Nick Newman. Locked. The two best halfbacks at all. Done. Underlined. Done. Thanks. Brilliant. Whoever picked that team is wrong.
Well, there's a lot of them that pick the team. There's a lot of them.
They're all wrong.
Yeah.
They're all wrong.
Yeah. I think even my view is, I think Newman has been more deserving of a spot than Cripps and Weitering. Like, that's how good I think his year's been.
I genuinely was shocked, and this is no disrespect to Cripps, that his name was in there. Because he wasn't in mine, and I think he's been okay this year. And if I was picking it for leadership, maybe, but Cripps surprised me. Controversial Luke Bruce, really?
What? Was he in the squad?
Yeah, I didn't get that. Jay Newcomb, James Sicily, no problem with.
No,
I was shocked.
That's fine.
And the big one for me, because my backline, I would say I would cheat. Darcy Moore, Jacob Weitering, and Sam Taylor would be in my backline, and Sam Taylor hasn't even made the 40. But Sam Taylor for me is, in my opinion, the only one close to Jacob Weitering. I think they are the two pound for pound key defenders in the comp.
I think the reality is with Jacob, it's happened a couple of times now. He's been really good for the first half and then got injured last year. I think this year he was not bad defensively, but just not dominant enough in that first half of the season. And then his second half has just been a new layer. It's just crazy to me. He is one of the best defenders in the comp, if not the best defender in the comp. And it just hasn't gotten to him yet, the jacket. It will. All in good time.
You know, like, I agree, Josh. He hasn't played that many games, but the 15 games he's played, you can't tell me he's not in the best 40 players in the league. He is miles. And then, you know, the other one, how the fuck is Luke Jackson in that team? How?
I don't know.
I can't. I've seen one good game of Luke Jackson. I've watched all of his games this year. It's like he's had one good game. One good game. Like, that's what warrants all Australian selection nowadays, is it? Yeah, you had half a good game. Like, fuck me. Like, there was talk about dropping him 12 rounds ago. Am I missing? Who picks these sides? Like, get me and Terry to do it. We'll do it. We'll make it look pretty. Fine.
We'll do a watch along.
Oh, Ari, I respect your opinion. Coaches' votes. Mate, coaches' votes are the AFL's equivalent. Do you remember the Coaches' Award? I don't know if you have this in Australia. In England, we have the Coaches' Award. It usually goes to the kid who's shit at sport, but he always turns up to training. And they've got to give him something because his mum's paid £50 to do the training. So they've got to give him something because the kid hasn't played minutes. Of course, Longmire's going to give him votes because he's signed him on $1 million and traded their entire future for him. If he doesn't, they'll ask questions. Luke Jackson's pish. How is he in that all Australian? Fuck me.
My God, that's funny. So that was that. There's something else I'm missing.
What about the first girl senior appointment in the AFL? Laura Kane.
We'll talk about Laura Kane. We can talk about Laura Kane with pleasure.
Well, come on.
We can.
Friend of the channel.
She is a friend of the channel. I was going to get to her towards the end. But yeah, so Laura Kane, who appeared on this channel in 2020 when she was working at North Melbourne. So Laura Kane is... Pardon? No. So Laura Kane has been appointed the executive director of football, the footy boss. A remarkable achievement, not just because she's a woman, because she's the best damn person available for the job. And I think we've been talking about this from a Carlton perspective and a footy board level perspective around the need to ensure the future of the game is in good hands by bringing in people from a generation who grew up in the modern context of digital and who can understand that. So yeah, I think it's a remarkable achievement. Obviously very proud of her, and I think the game is in the best possible hands with Laura Kane at the helm.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, I've got to say, it's not often I do this, right? Because I try and keep politics out of everything, because I just cannot believe that we ever have politics in a society. We have middle-class white men in suits telling me how to live my life. But every time something happens that, just you give me a faint belief that the world is getting better and the world's going to be a happy place and the best person gets the job, not the best man. In the AFL, if you've played football, you get a job, right? You get a job. To see a woman come through gives hope that maybe intelligence will out. But to see some of the comments on the AFL's official website, and fair play to them for leaving comments open, because my criticism with them is they avoid it, is some of these things like, it's a work appointment, as if we've got a woman in charge of footy. What does she know, right? Let's just talk about it, right? She's played Auskick, so that's the pathway for every footballer, right? She's coached not only a junior women's side, but a senior women's side, right? She established North Melbourne's women's football program from ground up. And you know how shit their men is. Imagine starting a women's football team with less appeal of Carlton, Collingwood, Essendon, Richmond, because they're brand names. North always struggled to attract male talent. So think what they're doing from women, and a very successful program. We've got to say it's the envy, one of the clubs that's envy of the competition. She was also doing that role for the men, who posted the best membership retention and their best turnover, right? In an era that was shit as well, let's be honest. So let's be honest. Is she qualified for the job? Probably overqualified. Do you know what I mean? And let's be honest, right? Let's get rid of this woke. If something's new, that does my head in more than boomer. Oh, it's woke. Maybe she's just better at her job than men. And you know what? There's a few women better than men. Trust me. A lot better women than men.
Yeah.
Like, it'll shock you. It'll shock you. Take a walk outside.
I am tested daily with the digital world and wanting to reply and things like that. So when I see such comments and I know that they're Carlton supporters, for example, it takes a lot to not reply, because you've got no idea what you're talking about if you're making such comments. You actually have no idea what you're talking about. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I think the less I say on this matter, the better.
No, you just do a pom. Just lay in at people, mate. Honestly,
well, you can. Yeah.
Shotgun. Because it's always the same people, right?
It's
if I
the
click
same
their
people.
Twitter profile, it always says, if you don't like the truth, don't follow, right? They're my favorite people, because as soon as you write that, I know you ain't on anyone's phone a friend, right? I know you are as thick as pig shit. And then it's always someone with no photos of themselves, or if it is, it's them looking really alpha, but they've been divorced 8 times, right?
Yeah.
And why? Just accept it. It's all right.
I think if anybody actually met Laura Kane, literally within 30 seconds, you would understand why she has the job.
And they always post about Donald Trump. They always do. Like, this is not a stereotype. They always post about like that. There's an NWO, or there is like the world is scripted, or there's like a secret organization. It's never like intelligent conversation. It's like something fictional that I can't touch and feel. I love it. And your mate has given a donation. I'm sorry. I take away your limelight, UK. I apologize.
Ur, thank you for the 80. Says hello. So anyway, she's going to do phenomenal things for this league, and we're in great hands.
I stand with you.
Just go people. Get out there and achieve. Break the boundaries of what the world tells you to do. So
it's good for all of us that someone who's not a footballer has got this job as well. Someone that
correct,
because it tells us that we have the young kids out there. You might not be good at football, but you can get into the AFL and make a difference. Well done, Laura.
Well done, Laura Kane. Well done.
Let's talk about. I expect like invites now to the draft.
Let's talk about finals football again. Let's talk about finals football tickets right now. So let me just confirm exactly what is happening, because on Wednesday, I believe I've got this right. On Wednesday, they will go out on sale. I'm just going to get it up now. Okay. So listen very carefully if you're not aware already. Members of the club, Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. That is when you will be able to buy your finals tickets. Don't mess about. Be available. If you can't, there's no way you can't. You just got to find a way. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. General public, same day, Wednesday the 30th of August, from 3 p.m. onwards, they will go on sale. So that's the first thing. A lot of us, I think all of us, got the email today. Now, a reminder, if you're not going, don't leave. Don't let your seat be empty for whatever reason. Do your best. If you need to message me on Instagram, Pommy, Almost Blues Brothers, any of us, don't let empty seats happen next Friday night. I think that is so crucial.
Yeah, 100%. Let's create just imagine as well. There'll be people out there, like, I know this is controversial, so I expect negative feedback from this, but I don't care, right? If
we're playing finals, baby, it doesn't matter.
If you are a member, there will be people out there as well who have maybe cancelled their membership due to job loss, due to all these things as well, who are probably just as passionate as those putting financials into it. Remember, it's not the dollar amount, it's the heart amount, right? It's the heart amount is more important. So if you can, honestly, I have got a load of people that I flick my membership access to because I don't go because I'm here, who have fallen on hard times. Do you know what I mean? If you've got it and you've got a spare ticket, please reach out and we will make sure people who are going to make some fucking noise are there, because these boys will need you. But you know what? Good luck getting the tickets. It might be like Taylor Swift's sitch.
So again, Carlton members, 10 a.m. Wednesday. General public, 3 p.m. Wednesday. Don't mess about. Be available. Gokhan's got a little pro tip here. I like this. If you have multiple devices, run them on separate Wi-Fi, data connections to have more of a chance. This is what I'm talking about.
Look at Gokhan. You fucking icon.
Wow. All right. That is brilliant. So yeah, I think we'll do whatever we can to make sure everyone's accounted for, but just be on time, be organized. You now
And
know.
if you're a scalper as well, Jimmy R, good call. There'll be scalpers. Can I just say, right? As someone with Romany blood, my words come with a curse. If you scalp these tickets and you're one of them people, I hope you live a long, 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 happy life. But I hope you never feel love. I hope it's never reciprocated. That's what I wish on you. I hope you love, but it's never rebounded. That's what I hope. So if you're a scalper out there, fuck you. Let the real people go.
Yeah. How many can we actually expect there? Like, I think the Richmond final, I believe it was 93 or 95. I think it was 93.
Mate, it'll be like 95.
Has to, right?
Mate, it's going to be fucking mental, bruv.
You know what it is? It's the national anthem soon as it finishes. Oh, mate. And it's like our boys, they've evolved, they're our men, they've gone through, they've made it. We'll obviously touch on it next.
Bro.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the fucking noise? Like when Charlie does the pick the ball up on the ground, fends a person off, spins round and bangs one through. And then he looks at you lot and he does his thing that he started to do. I love that from Charlie, getting you guys in it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the noise he's going to pop when he gets his bicep out for the boys? Oh, it's going to be the tits.
Like, we've spoken to a few people, like the notion of, Patrick Cripps playing his first final. Yes, of course. But it's just all of them, especially those who have been here for more than, 5-6 years. It's all of them. Those who have gone through contract negotiations, and we didn't know at times, maybe they'll, take the carrot that's been dangled in front of them, and for them to have stuck fat. Like, have we really lost anybody of note from the start of this whole build? Like, people that actually significant losses to the team?
I mean, people were telling me Stocker and Satterfield were. But in the realms of reality where Pom likes to walk about, no, we haven't. We haven't. You know what I do really want, right? And I would love to see. Do you remember when Adam Goods did his war dance to us?
Yes.
I would love to see, like, I feel like Motlop's got that in him. Do you know what I mean? I'd love to see something like that. I'd love to see Motlop like show us something like that, because that got me going and that was against us. Like, I love seeing that. I'd love to see it. I feel like Motlop's got something special planned for us in a celebration. He's been teasing them, the secret handshakes, and we've had the little dance he did with Fish. Feel like Motlop's got something for us. Like, I feel like Motlop will kick a goal that will be a moment, like, we'll remember. And I feel like he's got something special planned for us. I don't know. So if he doesn't do it, don't blame him. But I just get a feeling he's got something inside of him.
All right. Well, the club have just posted this on Twitter. I don't know if it's going to work. Let's have a look.
All gone pear-shaped for them.
Didn't look like an effort. They are a bottom four club now.
They're not trying.
Much
They're
worse.
lacking the effort, or they've just lost hope and they've lost spirit.
Times like this, you got to stick together.
What's the transformation that's taken over this football club?
What hasn't killed them has made them stronger. And I think the resilience they now have mentally, the buy-in as a group.
Everyone's just buying in, playing their role, and just willing to do anything for the team.
It wasn't about making finals, about impacting them, and the job isn't done.
And victory doesn't come any sweeter if you're a fan of the Carlton Footy Club.
30-point Carlton lead. Have a look at the Carlton fans at the MCG. Carlton are going to win. And the Blues just keep on rolling. And who knows when it'll stop.
Well, I'm ready to go and cut someone's head off.
That is mega. That is wild.
Woo! Tell you what, we know how to pump a game up, innit? How fucking Cripps, you just look at him, how he's reacted through all these wins. He's gonna fucking win this. He's gonna win this. I'm telling you now. There is something in his eyes that just tells me he's gonna remind everyone how good he is in these 4 weeks.
That is one of the best things I've ever seen from Carlton Media.
I'm looking forward to my shirt, to be honest.
Yeah, speaking of, so link in the chat right now. Yeah, let me share my screen. We can go through it together. How about that? So the name of the game is Stronger Together. That's what we're dealing with at the moment.
I'll tell you what,
So-
that's filth. The scarf's filth.
Yeah. So Stronger Together. Wow. Week 1 member event. What's this? Oh, okay. I think this is how you get a ticket as well, potentially. Don't forget to sign
Oh,
up. to
from
Carlton.
memory. Wait a minute. I'm sure it's in the emails.
Okay.
Let me open my emails and I'll tell you what
Oh,
it is.
It's here.
Also, right, fellow members from the pre-function at the Pullman Hotel, 5 till 7. Level 1 reserved seating means you don't have to stress about the ticket. Tickets will be distributed to all purchases from Wednesday the 6th. Drink coupon on arrival and a complimentary roast beef roll where you'll hear from Carlton Premiership players Jim Buckley, Wayne Johnson, Scott Camporelli and Brad Pearce. There will be raffled sign items and much more for grabs. Exclusive clubs finals merchandise available to purchase at the event. All for the price of $200. $200, a fuckload of Carlton fans, roast beef rolls, and a beer on the house. What more could you ask for?
Wow. So these t-shirts here, you can see them. I don't know if you can see them. Maybe I'll stop sharing my screen. That'll help.
It does look cool, to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah, they're nice. They're nice.
Carlton doing pre-game get-togethers.
Yes. You got to get around it.
Well done. Hey, tell you what, we're bringing a bit of northern culture. I can't wait till the club market an egging of Punt Road pre-game. $150 will mini bus to Punt Road and we provide the eggs.
Yeah. Well, we got 2 weeks to fire everyone, like to just add more fuel to the fire of excitement that we have. I've just realized we've got 4 minutes left. Big announcements coming. Big announcements coming. Starting with yeah, let's start with the jumper punch.
G'day, Blue Baggers. How are you? I'm Ian Aiken, a 1987 Premiership player. Love the Blue Boys. Hope they're going to do well this year. Make sure you watch the Jumper Punch every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Go Blues!
So the boys will be on tomorrow at 7 p.m. Also, Pommy, I don't know if you know this. Did you know that tomorrow night at 6 p.m. here on the Blue Abroad YouTube channel, the besties are going live for the first time as a besties.
Ooh, we get to see their faces.
Yes. So tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow's a big day.
Hey, I can't wait. I can't wait to get into the live chat and heckle them. So they can see how hard this is. Hey. Yeah. Now they'll be great. Get around them, support them. It's nerve-wracking. Tell you, it's hard doing a podcast, but it's fucking well harder when your face is here.
Yes. So, thank you for gifting 20 Blue Abroad memberships to 20 very lucky people in the chat.
What a man.
So, yeah, I know. This is the community. Bravo. So, the besties tomorrow, 6 p.m., Jasmina, Tori, and friends. I'll let them decide on the finality of that. But you know what else I'll say on what's been achieved in 12 months? Not just the besties. It's bigger than the besties. I think 12 months ago, there was a real pushback of the girls talking about footy or just being involved, especially on Twitter. That is now all but gone. And I think going to the game on yesterday, on Sunday, it's now part of the front area of the stadium. It's like, you go to the game, you walk past the besties, they're up and about, they got the microphone with the cord. Like it's it's become synonymous with game day. It's really cool.
Tori and the amazing Jasmina, they know their footy as well. Do you know what I mean?
do.
Do you know what I mean? They know their footy as well. That they're as mad as brushes, but they do know their footy, I tell you.
Absolutely. So that's tomorrow, 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Jumper Punch. Wednesday, the AFLW show is back. The rest will be playing. And also for those of you watching right now, I've got a little secret to show you. So this is going to be the intro and the outro videos on this channel that I do from now on.
Yup.
So that's that. Now, most importantly, tonight, now we've got to get off in, yes, we're getting off 10 seconds. The Almost Blues Brothers. So that'll be on straight away. We're going to finish up here and the Blues Brothers will be on. But most importantly, just enjoy it. Embrace it. Thanks for tuning in. Pommy, thanks, mate. Just thanks. Thank you, mate.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone watching at home. Let's win a flag, eh?
Go Blues. See
Go
you
Blues.
on